That's right.
But
That's
like,
awesome.
again, both times very blessed. Like I thought the one in Cincinnati was special because here's people from Cincinnati, and like literally, some of them I had met one time, like when Dave Bryan got hired, and then hadn't really seen him because we didn't really move in, till April after our first spring break. I've been there less than 3 months, and these people are bringing over food, you know, more
It's
food than
amazing.
3 kids and me could eat. But I'm very grateful, and not what you'd call just a skip around town. I mean, it was half an hour drive right from campus. I don't even know where all of them all lived, in that city that's a little bigger, but they were a wonderful support. And those are the things that Brian would say, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, honey, you have no idea how good we're doing. Because we had such a great support of people, and as I'm sitting there with chemo, and there's people that are. I'm probably more by myself by choice, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Where
Yes, I do.
other people are trying to be supportive of their spouses and stuff, but other ones are at home watching kids, and all those things were taken care of for me, and I wasn't worried about any bill or do I get my kids asthma medicine or do I go to chemo? There are people that are struggling with those kind of issues, and I said we're doing okay. You know what
That's
I mean?
right.
We really
That's right.
are.
That's right. All things
So.
considered, we're doing okay.
Yeah, yep. This is just a little speed bump in our little road. You just like anything else, when something happens, whether it's cancer or some kind of accident or something, and you have to start with rehab or something of that, rehabilitation and trying to get your leg working or arm working again. You just have to stop and make a plan and go with that. And I was really blessed that I didn't have any major complications, even with my surgeries or chemo and all that stuff. Did pretty good.
That's right. Well, and I think about too, even where your children are concerned, it's what did you teach them through that? They watched you kind of champion through this whole diagnosis where, you had a mantra, you stuck to it, you were supported
Yep.
by people. You think about that, like I can't even imagine what you've set them up for by working your way through this as positively as you did.
Well, the other piece of that is, and I wasn't out there I am generally a pretty positive, what do I say? I call myself a positive realist. Meaning I'm
Yeah.
not, hey, the sun's always going to shine, the kind of gal, but it might come out, there's a chance. That's probably been who I am, but, I try to tell people, like I'm one of those silver lining. I can always find a silver lining, but I think in the end, one of my best stories that I share is when I was at Cincinnati, and you have to remember, really, we weren't that well known in the area because we had just gotten there. And so I'm here helping Gracie and being the brownie mom, which if anyone knows me, that's kind of funny that I'm the brownie mom because not very crafty and I can't cook any of that stuff. But I'm a cheerleader, a good cheerleader. But they one of the kids came up shortly after, by then my hair is short. And so kids saw me. All my kids were there. It wasn't like I wasn't involved in school, I just kind of told them my hair's going to fall, but I'm going to be okay. And shortly after, my hair's growing back, another mom got diagnosed. And one of the first graders, one of the moms told me the story. This little boy said, it's okay. Mrs. Smith is going to be fine because just like Mrs. Kelly, her hair is going to fall out, but she's going to be good, And so it wasn't, that first grade boy said that to another first grade boy. Then they learned it's not as scary, you know what I mean? And
Yes.
that it's, it's not something that you don't, talk about, it's okay,
That's right.
And that's what you want. I want everybody, you can go back 25 years and no one was having, save second base T-shirts made for an outing,
That's right.
And it was just,
That's right.
Bring everybody into it instead of just, the moms and the sisters, the dads and the brothers, they all want to get involved too to help. So,
But I think that so many times they want to help, but they don't know what to say. That's what we have found so much with
right.
our program. I always say the reveal party at the end after she gets the makeover. It's bringing all of these people back to her that see her looking normal because they are afraid when they see you without hair. They are afraid if they see you in a wig, and it's not, it doesn't look like you, and they don't know what to say, so they say nothing and stay away. I see so many times.
Right.
And so the approach that you took with everything, I think, was just very positive. Even, again, just setting an example for not only your children, but the children that your kids were around in school. I think that's
Right.
that's awesome. And myself and you kind of have lived that too. So, it's 2 years next week that I lost my husband. And, I try and tell my son, hey, it really is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it.
Yes.
And that's the truth, because, and you are a prime example of that, because you could have just shut yourself up in your room and never left the house, but you chose, it's a choice, because God gave us free will. So you chose to walk outside and make sure that your life was as normal as possible, and that your kids' life was as normal as possible. And I think that's awesome. And like I said, the example that you set for your children, it'll be interesting to see how they look back on that experience with you being diagnosed and say, you know what, well, my mom did it, so there's no reason why I can't do it.
Right. Now, I to share an honest story with, listeners, I'm not the most vain person. And when I will tell you, like, when the first time going through, I lost my hair, and I looked, I'm like, the nice part is it does not take long to get ready. I can see why guys with very little hair. But I'm also a person who walks really fast. And my dad was bald, so I basically look like, a young Tom Craig, I guess. So I go, I'm definitely my dad's daughter when I don't have any hair. But I found that if you walk fast, you create a draft, and you never feel that when you have hair. I never did until I'm like, I got to have a hat on. I'm creating a draft on myself. But I did, and like you said, it doesn't make people are uncomfortable. Sometimes they don't know. One of the best, honest and earnest compliments I ever got was at a coaching convention, and a lady who did not know me came up to me. I had a cocktail dress on, and my hair was short, because it was just coming in. Mm-hmm. And she came over. She goes, and there's a lot of people who would never wear it. That looks awesome on you. You know what I mean? And I said, well, thank you. And I said, of course, she didn't know. And so, unfortunately, somebody told her, and she came back later in the evening. She said, I am so sorry. I said, why would you be sorry? You gave me an earnest compliment saying, yes. Like, I like the fact that you've got that chic, short haircut. But, it's my haircut for right now, too. So, so we, it's like, and then I know why she felt bad, because I'm sick, right? But the reality is her true compliment was really true. That's right. It was from the source. But, we had other stories, but I remember looking in the mirror that one day and thought, gosh, if that sets me back a little bit, the people that get ready and like that finished look every day, this would be hard for them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's the stuff that you guys do. That's my normalcy was just, like, it was hard for me not to work, So mm-hmm. Brian's like, I'll go to these things. Like, honey, I don't want you to sit and watch me fall asleep at chemo.
Right.
And I laugh about this statement, but it really was, I think it was hard for him. I made him come to all the surgeries and stuff, but some of the other stuff I had other people fill in, because his job being normal that was the one part of my life that was still normal.
That's right.
Does that make sense?
Right. Yes, it makes perfect sense. You try and find
that control factor.
Yes.
I go, do you understand? He's like, I'll do whatever you want me to do, honey.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that, and that's different for everybody.
That's
some
right.
people, but that for me was like, I don't get to work right now. I get to hang out with my kids for a couple of weeks feeling good, and then I don't feel good on chemo week. So it was an experience in itself that way. But it got me through the 6 or 7 months between the surgeries, the chemo, and the radiation. That wow. I knew his kind of schedule. So
that's right. And his schedule was normal. Like you said, you control the things that you can control, Right. That's right.
That it gives you that false, it's really a falsehood in the end, because if anyone knows anything about his schedule, it's it's kind of crazy.
That's right.
That's right. That's why it's kind of a funny irony to that, but
that's right.
But it helped me get there, So yes. And you just have to find what those pathways are going to that'll work for you.
That's right. That's right. Well, we are almost out of time. We've got like 30 seconds. What would you tell somebody, just a quick phrase of someone that was newly diagnosed with cancer? Like, what would be your cheerlead or your cheer for them?
Well, my one advice would be is make sure you have somebody with you at doctor's appointments every time, especially initially going through when it's something new. If it's the oncologist or the radiologist, always take someone with you, because I always found that what I heard and what Brian heard were not always the same things.
That's right.
They said it all, but what you take away is different
Your
from different perspectives.
interpretation. Yeah. Yes.
Yes. And and there's so much information, you won't get it all. And then two is feel comfortable with let it sink in. You know what I mean? Let it sink in, and before you don't make any knee-jerk reactions, and collect information and see how that's gonna and keep asking questions. It'll only lower your stress, because I think that was probably the one thing I think I was blessed with and didn't realize at the time is how the people that were speaking to us, and and I do have a little bit of a science background, so maybe that helped me, but it seems so foreign to some people. I just don't know what all that is. And
that's right.
I said, you know what? Just keep asking questions, and they'll find a way to. I find the people in oncology, and they're very special people. And I was, like I said, I was treated in 3 or 4 different cities. So
that's
continue to get that good quality care, whether it be checkups now or treatment. So I've been very blessed.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We didn't even get to touch on Kelly Cares Foundation, so I would love to invite you back to come back and be another guest on our show and talk about all the good work that you do.
Well, I appreciate that.
That'd be great. Yeah, I would love to have you back again, because we have so much more to talk about. But thank you so much for being with us today. If you have any questions or comments, or would like to know more about the guests on our show or more about Hello Gorgeous, feel free to contact me at kbecker@hellogorgeous.org, or visit our website at www.hellogorgeous.org. Thank you for joining me today on Hello Gorgeous, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and until next time, stay gorgeous.